Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Raul Rosa, Master Sergeant, U.S. Air Force retired. In our ceremonies, I thank you for the privilege of being your Master of Ceremony. Les doy las sinceras gracias por habernos acompañado este día en la honra de nuestros jóvenes y jovencitas que perdieron sus vidas. We're here to honor our men and women that lost their lives in war, or during the war, or because of the war. On their behalf, we welcome each and every one of you. And at this time, I would like to call on the Tejanos and Exons to bring in the colors. You can stand, or you may sit.
Left, march toward, left toward, left toward, hold on, hold, and hold, hold. Ready, cover, hold.
Present arms.
Present. Hold. Order. Hold. Left. Hey. Forward. March. Forward. Left. Forward.
At this time, as we stated, we'd like to welcome everybody. Is Principal Ty Davidson in our audience today? He is. Before we get started, I would like to have an invocation, and I'm calling on U.S. Chaplain, Christian Chaplain, Staff Sergeant Maureen Galvan. Uncover.
Father God Almighty, Supreme Commander of the heaven and earth, we are blessed this day with all the veterans present to give honor and glory to your warriors, and especially the Travis High School veterans who have served in Vietnam War, who are victims of Agent Orange, PTSD, who fought the battles of Iraq and the KIAs. We ask you, Lord Jesus, to bless this nation, one nation under God, so that we may triumph and continue to fight the spiritual warfare against evil and tyranny. In the holy name of Jesus Christ, bless us. Amen.
Cover. Principal Ty Davidson. Was he coming? Is this thing on? Can you hear me? Sir, would you like to do a opening welcome?
Absolutely.
To your people? Come on in, please.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Travis Early College High School. I want to say a quick thank you to not only the committee members, but everybody that is here today to not only represent family and friends, but to never forget those of us that have served and those of you all that have served in the military. As a proud son, grandson, and son-in-law of veterans, I cannot be more proud than to be up here today speaking to you all and taking the time to just say thank you to everybody who has served their country. So thank you once again. We appreciate you all coming out. And please take the time to thank a veteran, not only today, but this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
At this time, we'll have our national anthem. You gonna see? Oh, I'm sorry, looking for you. Present arms. Union.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave of the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Order, arms! Thank you very much. That was very beautiful. As I stated before, you may be seated, please. I apologize. As I stated before, welcoming each and every one of you. There's some special people that came all the way from out of town. I'm going to introduce you to everybody. Welcome, just a welcome. And then we're going to go with And we'd like to follow this one up with our Pledge of Allegiance. And I'm going to ask Liz Aguilar, Staff Sergeant, U.S. Air Force, retired, and Xavier Aguilar. They got him as a tech, but I know he's a Senior Master Sergeant from the Air Force, retired. Pledge of Allegiance. Present arms. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order. Arm. Thank you. I would like to call on the Lone Star. Okay, give me a chance. Hetuska War Dance Society to bless our monument. Thank you, sir. Change some of that, okay? You want me to go away? Vamos all the way. Travis High School. What are they doing? The presentation. One second. Okay. So you want this first, and then which one goes first? Oh, DVD. So you want me to jump on this one now? Okay, all of those are great. So I'm gonna go with this one. I don't believe in that because I'm gonna put on Juan de Santiago now, do the presentation. And I'll recognize the people. Thank you. At this time, I understand that our commander for the junior ROTC Navy here at Travis High will be departing. Commander Fernando Haywood, would you please come forward? Post 8925 incoming. Commander, would you please? Commander, we like to, as veterans, retired in service, we like to give you thanks for all that you have done for our Travis families, the Travis High School, our friends and community. We want to wish you good Godspeed in your next assignment. And if you stay here, then we'll take the certificate back. Sir, on behalf of Post 8925, we present you with this certificate of recognition from all the veterans, not only our post. And at the same time, we have a little token of appreciation. We'd like to present you with a $200 check on your travels. And we thank you. You've done wonders for us, Commander.
Thank you.
And we thank you.
Can I see your mic for a moment?
Yes, sir, you may step up. You're the commander. I don't have a choice. The general goes down.
All right, thank you all for being here for this recognizing the Memorial Day for those who've gone before us and gone to the other side of life. On behalf of Travis JROTC, I want to thank you. And if I may solicit something now for Travis JROTC, they need your help. They need your mentorship. Please, especially if you're a graduate of Travis High School, come back and support them. This check, forgive me.
We're here, sir.
Me and Chief Thomas decided this year we're going to start a scholarship fund. So we're able to present the scholarship this year. Looks like I got the seed money for next year. Thank you.
Commander, thank you very much. It's a pleasure. No. Okay. At this time, what I'd like to do is I would like to recognize all veterans and military personnel that are serving, men and women. Would you please raise your hand?
Just stand. They can stand.
I know we don't have a Spanish-American War nor a World War I. I don't know if we had any World War II veterans that showed up today. Albino Mendoza is the only one that I know of. And we got the Koreans, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan. Someday we'll find peace. And may God bless them. I would like to welcome some of our special guests today. Our speaker today will be Paul Saldana, our school board member. Also, Major General Juan Ayala, del Paso, Texas, serving in San Antonio right now. And we'll hear more about him. And his beautiful wife, Diane. We also have a constable from Precinct 4, Constable Morales. Thank you, sir, for the support you have given us at Travis Heights. We also like to thank the Order of the Cooties. State Commander, would you please give us your hello? These are the Order of the Cooties and the Auxiliary Ladies. If you're an auxiliary lady, stand up because you do all the work for the veterans. We got the Cooties, we got Lupe from the district and Post 8925, and our Lady de Santiago, our incoming Post President. If I miss anybody else, it's because I'm blind on one eye. Okay. Did I get them all? At this time, what I like to do is I like to call on our first speaker, who in turn will be introducing our Major General Ayala. And this is Paul Saldana, a member of and a trustee of the Austin Independent School District. Mr. Saldana was born here in Austin, and he has served over 25 years in local government affairs, public policy, public relations, and political consulting. A firm believer in giving back to the community through volunteer work, service on various boards, and being actively involved in issues that enhance and impact the quality of life for our citizens and definitely for all our schools and our children in schools. How serious is he? His volunteer work and school involvement? Mr. Saldana has been featured in the school's website, joining the annual Travis Rebel Tamalada. I guess that's tamales. And he does a lot of spreading on those tamales for us to enjoy. In June 2016, the Young Hispanic Professionals Association of Austin awarded Mr. Saldana the Legacy Award for his years of community advocacy, leadership, and commitment to quality of life. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Officer Paul Saldana.
Thank you, Raul. Good morning, everybody. I want to just take a few minutes, if I might, just speak on behalf of the school district. So part of the mission of AISD and William B. Travis Early College High School is to prepare students for civic duty and engagement, and to provide them exposure to meaningful experiences so that they may become lifelong learners. This also includes developing and respecting the interest in our community and those who have come before us. And I cannot think of a greater honor, privilege, and educational opportunity for our students than to assume the awesome responsibility to serve as guardians charged with protecting and honoring the memory and service of our military veterans and alumni of William B. Travis High School. The monument that we unveiled 3 years ago and commemorate again today should serve as a constant reminder to all AISD students, faculty, and the community that too often we take for granted the people that most deserve our gratitude. The willingness of our veterans and active military service men, women, and their families to sacrifice for our country has earned them our lasting gratitude and respect. President Abraham Lincoln once said, "Honor to the soldier and sailor everywhere who bravely bears his country's cause. Honor also to the citizen who cares for his brother in the field and serves as he best can the same cause." On behalf of the district, the ISD Board of Trustees, our Superintendent, Dr. Cruz, Principal Ty Davidson, and our 84,000 students, we humbly offer our thanks to the families of the veterans that we honor here today and every day for your unselfish sacrifices. And we want to thank and acknowledge the outstanding work and leadership of the Travis High School Monument Committee. So this morning, it is indeed my honor and privilege to introduce our guest speaker, Major General Juan G. Ayala, United States Marine Corps. Major General Ayala retired from the United States Marine Corps after 36 years of service. He is currently the Director of Office of Military Affairs for the City of San Antonio. Prior to his retirement, Major General Ayala commanded all 24 Marine Corps installations worldwide and was selected to lead the Department of Defense's 2015 Warrior Games, assisting the nation's wounded. His service includes 4 combat tours in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. A native of El Paso, Texas, Major General Ayala's military awards include the Distinguished Service Medal, Defense Superior Service Medal, Legion of Merit with 5 Combat Distinguished Device, the Brown Star Medal, and many more decorations. He received the 2007 Excellence in Military Service Award from the League of Latin American Citizens, LULAC. Major General Ayala currently serves as the Governor of Texas's Advisory Council on Cultural Affairs and as a board member of the Armed Services Arts Partnership and Visit on San Antonio. Please join me in welcoming Major General Juan Ayala.
Thank you, General. We're going to call the physical start
Good morning.
Morning.
I want to thank Ms. Rosemary, Chaplain Abraham, and the Rebels of Travis High School for the invitation. It really is an honor for me to be here this morning, so thank you. I also want to acknowledge all the veterans that are here. I know all of us, especially today, remember our fallen brothers and sisters who paid that ultimate price for wearing the cloth of their nation. I also want to thank and welcome home all the Vietnam vets. Would you stand up, please? Thank you. Memorial Day is a day that we honor those men and women that did pay the ultimate price. But I also want you to indulge me and remember those that are currently today in harm's way in Iraq, in Afghanistan, and other posts around the world. Let's remember them, because we do not want their names, as much as we love them, on these walls. I thought about what I was going to say today, and I thought it would be more appropriate for me to speak about 2 Marines that I lost while I was in command. The first one I lost while I was in command was my second tour, and the last one I lost was my third tour. Lost them in action. And I want to tell you a little bit about them because they're very indicative of the names, and they're very indicative of who we're honoring today. But before I do that, I know we have a Gold Star family here, Ms. Perez, and we also want to acknowledge their pain, their sacrifice, and what a day like today means for them. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being here. Corporal Andrew D. Brownfield, 24, Akron, Ohio, died due to wounds received from an enemy mortar attack at Al Asad Air Base, Iraq. He was assigned to Marine Wing Support Group 37, 29 Palms, California. He died on the 18th of March of 2004. I remember going to the site where this young corporal died, seeing where the rocket hit, seeing where he had lain, and then seeing him leave on a ramp ceremony that I'll never forget. I'll also remember the guilt that all of us feel when we lose one of ours. Could we have done something differently? Is there something else that could have happened? And that is something that we have to bear. And I remember reading something from a young man that was on duty that day, and I'll read it because I really identified with what he was saying. Quote, "I remember that night like it was yesterday. I was on a tower when the rockets came in front of us. I was on one on the radio telling the headquarters where they were landing. I didn't learn of my buddy Corporal Brownfield's passing until many hours later when we were finally off post. That night haunts me. It haunts me. I keep wondering if I could have realized what was going on sooner and notified everybody else sooner, if that would have made a difference." Hours after the attack, there was a firefight in the next tower between our reaction forces and the enemy, and I would like to think we got them. To the family, I will never forget Corporal Brownfield, and my prayers are with you. Normal guilt, but he will never forget, just like we won't. The second young man that I want to talk to you about was a young man by the name of Captain Christopher Pate. I was an embedded advisor living and working with the Iraqi Army at the time. We got the call that there had been casualties. There had been a mortar attack and an IED attack at Al Anbar province. And I remember going to Taqadum Surgical. We had lost an Iraqi soldier that was with us, and I'll never forget seeing Captain Pate in his last moments. Something you never forget, and the reason that we're here today is to remember the Brownfields, the Pates. They were just like us. They chose to serve, and they're no longer with us. Somebody wrote a little poem for Captain Pate. And I want you to listen to this because I think that when we're all gone, and I'm not an expert at what happens next, maybe Chaplain Abraham can let us know, but on the other side, I hope to see all our comrades in arms, the names that are there, those that we serve with, and those who we love. It's called The Other Side. And this is from the other side, from Captain Pate and Corporal Brownfield. I hope they're saying this to us today. I'm on the other side, where life and death softly divide. Left my skin and bones behind, but now I'm on the other side. Can you feel me there with you? My breath is gone, but I'm through. Loved you then, and I love you now, and I still do, from the other side. I can really fly below the earth, through the sky. Tell them all I did not die. I'm just on the other side. It's good here on the other side. Sweetest songs, bluest skies. Thank you so much for the tears you cried, but it is good here on the other side. Tell them all I did not die. I'm just on the other side. The world is smaller than a needle's eye, where death and life softly divide. When you leave your skin and bones behind, I'll be waiting on the other side. Go tell them all I did not die. I'm just on the other side. So hopefully, all of the ones who remember today are talking to us from the other side, because on this side, today we remember them. I want to end my remarks by telling you about something that happened beginning in 1983 after the Beirut bombings. Let me set you back to October 1983, Beirut, Lebanon. There was an American task force, an American battalion that was standing peacekeeping duties in the country of Lebanon in a barracks. So it's October the 23rd at 0900. A young corporal by the name of John Chipura, United States Marine Corps, Brooklyn, New York, is walking to duty where over 200 Marines are billeted. Chipura goes on duty at 9 o'clock. He's a radio man. He stops to talk to a buddy of his. At about 9:06, if you all recall, the Beirut bombing takes place. And many think that was the first attack and the first salvo on the war on terror. Hezbollah bomber drove into that barracks, killing 242 United States Marines and other servicemen and women, the largest loss of life since the Battle of Iwo Jima. Corporal John Chipura survived. The buddy he was talking to did not. He was lost in that attack. So what did Chipura do? Chipura did what the men and women on that wall did. They did what some of you did, or all of you did, or would have done. And some of you that are getting ready to go will do one day. They went to the sounds of the guns. Chipura ran into the rubble, and for 3 days, he helped recover the remains of his buddies, of his loved Marines, and others that were in that rubble. So Chipura did what the average Marine does. He left that deployment, and he went back home to New York City. Chipura becomes a New York City police officer and is famous and renowned in that department for his discipline, his love of his city, his love of his country, and he'll never let anybody forget, like we don't, that he was a United States Marine. I say Marine, but this is indicative of all the services. I just happen to be a little jaundiced here. So Chipura serves his time. He's a scout leader. He's a member of the community. He's a great policeman. Right in between his 5 or 6 year mark, he does what his father and his uncles do. He becomes a New York City fireman. Chipura keeps on that great duty, that great tradition, and he becomes engaged in October of 2001. So I'm bringing you back all these years, this young corporal, who could be any of us, could be any young Marine, sailor, soldier, airman. He's on duty on September 11th, 2001, in his fire truck, in his ladder, in his firehouse. So what does John Chipura do when those planes strike the towers? He did and does what he did in 1983 in Beirut. He did what many of our veterans and many of those that are on these walls did. He did something inhuman, not normal, but that's what American servicemen and women do to serve their nation. He ran to the sounds of the guns. He went into Tower 1. Well, as often as I've told this story, I've always hated the ending. Because after the attack took place, the body of John Chipura was never found again, and he was never heard from again. So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because that is the type of man and women that we have in our country. That is why we're here today, to honor those on the Travis High School Veterans Memorial, on every memorial around the world, to remember the families that grieve, and to never ever forget people like John Chipura, Captain Chris Pate, and Corporal Brownfield. Let's never forget them. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a privilege to be here with you. Let's never forget any of them. Semper Fidelis. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, today. General Ayala, el honor, el gusto, lo tenemos nosotros. We, the community, are proud to have a Major General come in and honor our departed veterans, our departed soldiers. And in that, when we have our veterans coming back from whatever war, or they didn't make it back, there's a wall that reminds us what's up there. And you have to bring in the honor flights, and we want to thank Alan Bergeron. He's the chairman and CEO with the City of Austin, and he does all our flights. Alan, would you please stand so we can recognize you? Is he here? He's back here. Remember, I'm blind on that eye. Thank you. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we continue with the reading of the names on our memorial. I would like to call on Alfredo Garcia, Sergeant, U.S. Army, for the reading, and Julian Calderon, E4, U.S. Army, in ringing of our bells. When that bell is rung, you may touch your heart or you may salute if you wish, in honor of those who we have lost. Your privilege.
Good morning. On behalf of the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 915, I am proud and honored to read the names of our fallen brothers. Reeves, Larry R. Daly, Harold. Matias Wenceslao Jr. Joe R. Reth, Robert E. Freestone, David E. Rawson, Patrick D. Smith, General D. Wilson, Theodore M. Perez, Nicolas S. Ulloa, George. Art Helder, John W. Avila, Jesse. Calderon, Mario. Collins, Carol F. Jr. Davila, Agustin. Garcia, Luis G. Guerrero, Larry. Hernandez, Gabriel. Hernandez, Raymond. Levas, Jesse. Levas, Joe. Levas, Rodolfo. Perry, Thomas D. Reina, Alfred. Reese, Raymond. Segura, Albert. Cifuentes, Joe T. Smith, Albert J. Vargas, Daniel R. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to call on Corporal Charles T. Grant, U.S. Marine Corps, to present and laying of the wreath. And Ms. Betty, would you please step forward, please? Our Golden Star Mother.
They already did this part right here. They didn't do that one, and then these, they already did it, and then it's 3, 4.
So we're going to read those. I mean,
But they already did it.
oh, okay, we just leave it here. Our Golden Star Mother lost a child whom I met when he was a baby. His sister also went to the war. She came back through the grace of God. But Nick, may he rest in peace. Thank you. El Valley.
And do the better. The leads.
We're also presenting family wreath on behalf of
Okay, Miss
Miss Sherry Segura Moreno, honoring her brother, Albert Segura. Next. This one. You want that one?
Jesse Avila. Mr. Allen.
Also we have for Jesse Avila, his niece, Belinda Leivas Vizcaye.
I think they already placed it. Okay, and therefore,
Is she here?
they already placed it. They already did it.
They already did it.
Okay, so then, Rodolfo Leivas.
Jesse Leivas next. Jesse Leiva, niece, Anna Leivas Thompson. Has been done.
Okay, and then Rodolfo Leivas,
Rodolfo Leivas,
sister.
uncle,
Yes.
and his sister Beatriz Leivas Diaz.
Okay, I think they already did that.
You got them all?
Yeah, so now we're going to do the Vietnam veterans.
Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 915, presented by Sergeant Garcia and Specialist Calderon. Thank you. And we go with the volume.
We're going to do that one.
What is he going to do?
This town selection is going to be next.
Benny.
Tejano selection.
Tejanos in action, Commander Pete Govea,
Benny Castillo.
Benny.
We're going to do Veronica.
He's going to do the read. Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Okay, they're here. Miss Veronica Vargas Castro.
We done all of those.
No, we're going to do this one right here.
We have to do that one.
They just got here.
This one. Mrs. Veronica Vargas Castro, honoring her father, Daniel Vargas. And then Sheriff.
So we already did it. Put that here. Now we just go on.
Then we go with the valley.
Then we go do the top.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a loud noise. The Tejanos in action. Please proceed to the valley. Taps will be ready to present arms. I dropped that one. I need somebody to pick it up. Please remain standing for the retirement of the colors. Honor Guard with the Tejanos in action.
Left. Forward. March. Left, forward, left. Left, forward. Left, forward, left, forward. Forward, forward.
Are there any balloons to be released? And the cadets will bring him in. This is a final tribute to the young men and women we have lost in war, and the cadets from the True Rebels, Travis High School, the future leaders of America. At your convenience, the balloons may be released. Before I conclude this program, I would like to recognize people that have met weekly, twice weekly, for a whole year preparing this ceremony. Rosemary Martinez, where are you? She's the lady that has to guide me, lead me, and all those members that are on that committee, would you please step up and join Rosemary Martinez, because you have done a beautiful, wonderful work, and you will continue to do this.
It's Veronica. I need Veronica.
Veronica, where are you? And I would like to call on Juan Santiago de Santiago to present a donation of $200 from the post of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 8925. And I would like for you to present that to Ms. Martinez. Stepping up, Ms. Martinez, so they can recognize you. You're too little.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything you have done for our veterans. And thank you, and we'll see you next year, I hope.
Oh, yeah.
She's coming.
As my husband always says, I have to have the last word. So here's the last word. I want to recognize Charles T. Grant on his behalf. I am accepting this donation. He has spearheaded, ramrodded, and I'm just his point man, as I was told. So here I am, and there he is. Thank you, Charles, and everybody who has done an amazing job to help us make this come true.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, I get that. Thank you. Okay. So should
At
I?
this time, ladies and gentlemen, there are some goodies in the inside. We ask you to come in and be partnerships in this final memory for this year. It'll be in the cafeteria right around the doors on the left-hand side.
And after you said in Vietnam, can you hear me now?
Yeah, let it run for a little bit, put the crowd in.